Tonight we committed an entire stream to one thing and one thing only, and that was countering High Evolutionary, making decks that kind of went against the current meta to allow you to gain some cubes if you're, for instance, someone who does not want to play High Evolutionary, or you don't have High Evolutionary and it's literally everywhere. What do? Well, I got 5 unique deck lists for you, and after every single deck I explain, I'm going to be showing you a gameplay example as well. If you like the sports series, hit the like button. I appreciate it, and it does a tremendous amount to help the channel. So the first thing I got to say is, honestly, Luke Cage is kind of doing exactly what you expected him to do. Luke Cage is providing a lot of counterplay against High Evolutionary. The Thing, the Abomination play with Scorpion, all those types of things don't necessarily work effectively because of Luke Cage. But in a lot of lists, you're seeing Enchantresses being run, you're seeing you're seeing Wave 2, but you're seeing Rogue being run to take that Luke Cage effect. So Luke Cage is often the target of your opponent, so be very wary of protecting him. Now, the first deck is utilizing Luke Cage, and what it is, it's your anti-Evo kitty control list. Now, if you're trying to rank up, if you're trying to make a push for infinite, you want a reliable, good deck, and this is exactly what this is. This is a kind of like control Sarah list without Hitmonkey that's going to utilize Luke Cage instead to provide enough value. Now, you can also, use Kitty Pryde to generate a lot of value on, obviously, your Bishop, your Angela, and others, but the key thing is you have a lot of your tech answers, right? This is kind of like what this control list does very well. While you do have Sarah, of course, the shining lights are, of course, Enchantress, Shang-Chi, and Killmonger. You got a lot of tech in here while also being able to play something like your Mysterio on turn 6 in conjunction with a bunch of other stuff, which gives you the opportunity to run up both Angela and Bishop. And of course, the Lizard loves the fact that Luke Cage is in the list. There's a lot to love about this list. Control is in an amazing spot right now. So if you're facing off against a lot of High Evolutionary and you want to combat that, this is a list you can turn to. And as you're going to see in this gameplay example, it performs very well. Let's get this Lizard going here. That's right. Hey, I make bad plays on the internet all the time. I'm known for it. I am known for making bad plays. We do have Luke Cage, which is fantastic. Luke Cage does a great job with Mr. Lazard here. I've made a career of making bad plays. Oh. I think we take out the Zabu right now. This is a 7-drop Enchantress on 4. We get rid of that Zabu. Get rid of it right now. Galactus nerf. They lose double cubes or just flip a coin turn 1 and end the game rather than play. Snowpoint, that is the funniest. That's the best Galactus change I've ever read in my life. I agree 100%. Just do the coin flip turn 1 for 8 cubes. I agree. I don't think anyone will complain about that either. If Galactus is just a coin flip for 8 cubes at turn 1, so no one actually has to play the game. I understand that. We do have High Evolutionary here. We don't have a lot of power right now. We didn't really play Kitty Pryde. They played their own Sarah. Oh my god. Okay, Sentinel's not what we want. So we have initiative, so Shang-Chi does nothing. So what we'll do here instead is we'll Shang-Chi left with Luke Cage. We go right with Sentinel, and we meme play the Kitty Pryde. We go for it. Yeah, that Abomination's probably going to come out nice and cheap, which is a bit of a problem here. Yeah, Abomination comes down as an 11. Left. Oh. That is a very tight game. Now, I want to mention that when they're holding Abomination, there's a lot of value to playing Luke Cage earlier on to prevent the Abomination from coming out at a reduced cost, right? That Rock Slide play almost won the game. All right. We do have a Killmonger. Oh my gosh. If I had Killmonger here, I'd play, but we don't have Killmonger drawn, so we have to skip. Can't run that risk. Oh, look who decided to show up. Of course. As much as I'd like to play Killmonger right now, I think we hold for a sec. It's a very good variant. Very good variant. I do like it. It's Angela's Sentinel. Oh, big whiff on the Drax. But Drax's buff really kind of helps to make that feel less awful. So there you go. Ooh, we have Sarah. I like the idea of playing Sarah here. We can play Sarah here. We probably bank on the idea that Mjolnir will be played on turn 6. Hits the Star-Lord. Oh my god, is that a Medusa? Oh my god. What a play. That was ridiculous. That was absolutely ridiculous. Okay. It's Nova. It's probably Mysterio, right? We probably just, we apply pressure mid and give it. 1-1-1. Killmonger. I think we actually probably play Sentinel. Block the Mysterio here. Yeah, we Killmonger mid. No. Let's go after these 2 locations. Okay, I respect the Gamora play. So I'm actually kind of surprised that we did not get a Mjolnir. They did not draw it. We put a little too much energy in on the sewer system location, but this Killmonger will make things right. That's a lot of damage. That is a lot of damage. And although we are ultimately going to... Oh, it's actually a 3-lane win. I was going to say we're going to lose sewer system, but that ultimately becomes a 3-lane win. A very, very clean victory. I gotta be honest with you, every time I can turn to Silver Surfer, I do. It's one of my favorite archetypes in Marvel Snap, so it doesn't come as a surprise that I looked towards Silver Surfer when designing a deck to counteract the current High Evolutionary gameplay. Now, one thing I will say is that I actually intentionally tried not to put Luke Cage in this list. I was like, you know what? What if I just don't put Luke Cage in? What if I just leave him out? Do I have to put him in every single deck? If you want to keep Luke Cage in the deck because it makes you feel a little better, you can definitely put in Luke Cage for Maria Hill. It's a natural kind of replacement. Although I do think Maria Hill is awesome in this list because when you play Maria Hill on 2, it gives you an opportunity to play an additional 1-drop in conjunction with your 3-drop on turn 4, which I think is really valuable. Also, if you take out, if you only have one 1-drop and one 2-drop, it's kind of too greedy. I like having two drops, and I like the idea that Maria Hill gives you the random 1, which can usually be played on turn 4. Goose, I think, is way too valuable to shut out like those Hulks, but also keep in mind Goose can be undermined by She-Hulk and Abomination, so that can be a little tricky. But so if you want to put the Luke Cage in, you can. Obviously, you have the Rogue to steal their Luke Cage. That's kind of what I was banking on. You know, don't use my Luke Cage, but if they have Luke Cage, play the Rogue. But of course, from there, it's just a very standard, straight-up meta Silver Surfer list. You got the Polaris Maximus, you have Sarah, of course. You got the Cosmo, and of course, you got the Silver Surfer Brood combination, which is great on turn 6. Ultimately, I do think that this deck is pretty damn good, and the advantage you have of this deck is it's just a good deck. So if you're not playing against High Evolutionary, you've got a list that isn't overcommitted to a very specific type of archetype. It can get the job done, as you're going to see in this gameplay highlight. All right, we got Maria Hill. That's exactly why we added Maria Hill to this list. Maria Hill gives us a little more of a curve, I think, right? Because not only do you get the 2-drop, but you get a card you can play on turn 4 in addition to your 3-drop, which is really nice. Generally speaking, Goose plus a 3-drop on turn 5 is how you play Silver Surfer, preventing them from playing a card on turn 6. Obviously, you can get trolled by Maria Hill at times, but... I play this game casually. Any tips? I think the major tip would be to have fun. It's so easy to forget. It's so easy to forget to actually enjoy playing the game. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's unbelievably true. Man, this is awkward. We're going to want to rogue that Luke Cage. In the meantime, do we Cosmo right? Cosmo right gives us a play with Maximus if we draw it. We still have the Sarah. Cosmo can punish us here. Got to pull this Rogue. Okay, we pull Rogue. We got it. Shadow King. What a gamer. That's why Rogue's in the list. Right there. That's what Rogue does. This person is very complimentary of our cards. We're going to give them the Shadow King love here. When they see Sarah, I think... oh, that's a Cosmo, my friend. Mistakes were made. I think our friend Elephant has been sipping the grape juice tonight. Some errors have been made. Maximus. Polaris. 5, 3. I don't love this. Misty, Silver Surfer, Nova. We go. Cerebro. I respect that play a lot. Okay. That was a choice. Looks like we got him. Good job, team. Feel bad beating a Cerebro player. That's a very clean game. Very, very clean game. It's a good looking win. Very good looking win there. There's a bit of a theme here, and that's that control is in a really good spot in the meta right now. And if you could add a little bit of Luke Cage into a really good control-based list, you're probably going to be okay counteracting High Evolutionary, and that's exactly what this Anti-Evo Guardians list does. It's really the control Guardians of the Galaxy list with Luke Cage. It does everything you need it to do. You have the Nebula Storm combination here. You have the Daredevil package with Spider-Man, Professor X, and Gamora. You have the option of kind of carrying over Gamora on turn 6 with, Rocket Raccoon, so you can play Gamora and Rocket Raccoon together. And if you've Professor X, you basically are 50-50 or more than 50-50 if you're going to be able to predict where your opponent's going to play. You're getting a ton of value. You're getting the disruption of Magneto. You have Jeff, and if you don't have Jeff, you can play Lizard because with Luke Cage, Lizard is a consistent 2-5. There's so much to like here. The Daredevil package I love with Spider-Man, Professor X, and Gamora. It really does not steer you wrong. On turn 5, if that Daredevil's down, you're going to have a play to take advantage of the situation, okay? And if you have Storm and Nebula and your turn 5 is going to allow you to play Professor X on a lane that they can't contest, then it is a straightforward win. There's a lot to like about this deck list. It's a lot of fun to play. It's a very high win rate deck. And if you want to see a gameplay highlight, I've got you. I think that the High Evolutionary decks are very strong, but they're definitely not impossible to counter. Luke Cage, Enchantress, and others, and just general control gives opportunities to counter. Now, Camartage is great with us. Now, revealing the Luke Cage early is a little suspect for us, but I'm not willing to hold him too late here, because also if they are playing the... if they're playing something like Abomination, getting him out nice and early is pretty good. Oh, we get double the Luke Cage effect. So he's going to play probably a massive card here. There's a chance we just do this here. Plays left. Okay, it's Mr. Negative. So he's going to want Iron Man here. So we got to Prof X this ASAP. Cuz we can Gamora mid. I think we do a little bit of a how do you do. Watch this. This is called the is it the oop-de-oop where you fake one hand and you punch the other? What's the Rocky punch where you fake one side and you hit the other? What's it called? I'm saying oop-de-oop, but that sounds super made up. We're gonna Storm here, Prof here, Gamora mid, and this game's done. Okay. Plays leader. I mean, he does get double Storm, which kind of helps. But we're not actually going after that location. Gamora mid should be enough to win. She comes down as a 17. Okay, interesting. Didn't see the Carnage coming. Oh, just out of reach for Jeff. We leave it to Gamora. It's all on Gamora here. Galactus incoming? Yeah, definitely potential for Killmonger here. If they Killmonger, though, that means they're not playing a 6-drop. Killmonger ultimately... So it's a Zola. Oh my god!
That was embarrassing.
I have never seen a turn 6 quite like that before. I have not seen that. That is what makes Marvel Snap absolutely amazing. Who would have anticipated a turn 6 that looked like an absolute defeat, no question, into an improbable victory? That is what I love about Marvel Snap. Reflecting back on the Snapchat this past week, I kind of undersold Luke Cage and its ability to really shut down High Evolutionary. It's really good in High Evolutionary baseless, and it's really good against High Evolutionary baseless. And Caged Iron Patriot is an emerging deck list. Like we talked about on the decks of the week, Iron Lad is a great card in Patriot because, like, if you hit Brood, there are like multiple 6-drops. It's crazy. Debris is interesting. Like, there's so many good cards for this to hit. Like, there's really no bad hit here, right? Even if you hit Patriot, if you hit, I mean, Wave or Wasp, whatever, I guess, but you're hitting like Iron Man, you're hitting Blue Marvel, Doctor Doom. There's so much to hit for Iron Lad. It's great in Patriot. And you just splash in Luke Cage and you're fine. You're fine. You splash in Luke Cage and it's fine. And so, like, this deck is performing really well with a really high win rate. I absolutely clapped with it, as you're going to see in this gameplay highlight. And realistically, Iron Lad in Patriot, I think you're going to be seeing a lot of it because it is a great combination. If you don't have Luke, you don't get the win. I mean, it does feel like the meta right now is like, get a good deck and just put Luke in it. Cut out a card, any card, and slide Luke in. I do like Rogue too. Rogue feels like a beautiful card. Like, Rogue's like a really feel-good card, you know? When you drop that Rogue and it comes down and just claps the cheeks of your opponent, it does feel really good. There's nothing better than that. Super Skrull is good too, but like, Rogue claps cheeks in a way that, like, you can't help but respect, you know? Like, it's almost not safe for work, Rogue, at times. Oh my god, that's unsafe for work. That, my friends, is not safe for work. That Iron Lad gameplay is just, like, this guy is taking unbelievable emotional damage right now. Plays Super Skrull down, but my friend, it is not going to help you all that much. I have so much to play here. The Super Skrull prevents me from blue marveling, which feels a little bad. And obviously I can Onslaught, which is going to be a little sus. Ultimately, could consider skipping this turn, but what we do is we Mr. Sinister for the memes. We Mr. Sinister, and that allows us to Doctor Doom Wasp and give this guy a good clapping. Now, I respect he's playing into Luke's bar here. I'm interested in seeing what he plays. If it's Galactus, so okay, we are against the High Evolutionary deck here. They are trying to out-evolve us, but ultimately I think this is going to be an utter failure. There is functionally no opportunity to win in this game. And if I lose, let it be known that I came into this final turn cocky as hell, begging for defeat, begging for embarrassment. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We got the cleanest win here ever. Washington, D.C. feeding perfectly into our repertoire of turn 6 plays. And here it comes. This is what defeat looks like. Takes out his own Super Skrull in the meantime, by the way. That's okay. Drops his own Luke Cage. I mean, he went for it. He lost 3 lanes, but he went for it. You know what? Let's take a second here. Let's give our opponent a hand. They did the best they could, given a near impossible situation. And Caged Iron Patriot does showcase its ability to beat a High Evolutionary deck All right, for this last one, I tried to bring you guys something a little wild, and I'm trying to bring Wongoing back in an anti-Evo style. Basically, Luke Cage is an ongoing, and so is everything else in this list. And so what I did is I tried to use the best cards right now in the meta, which include Luke Cage and, of course, Super Scroll. Super Scroll is super valuable. You're taking, you know, the Hulk ongoing. You're taking their Luke Cage if you don't draw your own, or if they have Luke Cage on the board, you can just Super Scroll and not have to play your own Luke Cage, right? So there's a lot of things happening here. I think Namor is really undervalued in the current meta. You have Sarah, the Spectrum play. You can, if you drop Sarah on turn 5, you have Spectrum +1 on turn 6, which can be Ant-Man or Luke Cage or Armor or Lizard or whatever it is, right? It's a 5+1. So Spectrum does a lot of value, because everything's an ongoing, including the Zabu, which gives you a lot of value with these 4 drops. You got so much value to hit. Like, it's just the Spectrum Wong play it's super greedy. A lot of people retreat if they don't have Cosmo and you're holding Wong sitting on the board just unchecked. Like, they're gonna be terrified. And it's a deck that I love. I mean, Wongoing was like a beta list for me that, like, I used to play an absolute ton of. So I wanted to get it back. Again, this is a homebrew, so make some changes if you see fit. One that I like is Ghost as well. Ghost is kind of cool because it's a 1-drop that's ongoing. So anytime you can get an additional hit on the Spectrum to give the additional +2, it's worth it. So I do like this list. And as you can see in this gameplay highlight, it's a lot of fun to pilot. Guys, it's our song. It's back. We've never lost. We've never lost with the song. Our song is here, guys. We're going to conquer the impossible. And we're going to have a smile on our face. We're going to work for this win. I have confidence in all you guys. Let's go. Get those Cosmos ready. Get the Cosmos ready. If you guys don't spam Cosmo right now, I'm going to punch my monitor. So let's get those Cosmos ready. We're going to get the dub. Let's go. Oh, it's a Wong on the other side. It's our Wong. Come on. Spectrum. Spectrum. Let's go. The dream lives. We're going to conquer the impossible. Ooh. Listen, we're going to go for it because we're party freaks. I'm nervous. Guys, I'm nervous. We're going for it. Let's go, gamers! That's a big hit, Monkey! Let's go, gamers! We never lose! We never lose! Guys, We literally never lose when that song comes on.